In Maryland, there are less than 2 weeks until the 437th General Assembly comes to a close. Lawmakers are hard at work in Annapolis, fine-tuning the legislative measures before the session closes on April 10th.
Yeah, a number of those measures have not been offered without opposition from Governor Larry Hogan and his staff. 47 ABC's Lili Zhang sat down with the governor for a one-on-one interview this afternoon on one of the highly debated proposals in question.
It's one of the worst things that I've ever seen happen in the legislature.
Maryland Governor Larry Hogan blasting the Protect Our Schools Act. It's an act which carries two major pieces of educational measures he claims ought to be called the Protect Our Failing Schools Act.
We're going to trap kids in persistently failing schools. We won't be able to make any of the improvements.
Part of the proposed legislation would set a standard on how school success is measured. It would use a combination of test scores along other factors like school climate surveys, absentee rates, and opportunities to enroll in advanced placement classes. In a one-on-one interview with 47 ABC Friday, Governor Hogan says he agrees markers of success go beyond testing. But it's the other part of the bill that has him concerned. The act would also prohibit the state from taking a number of actions to reform low-performing schools, including converting them to private charter schools and bringing in private operators. A statement from the Senate bill's sponsor, Senator Craig Zucker, released to the Maryland State Education Association, reads in part, quote, "Marylanders don't want to see school privatization come to our state, and they want Governor Hogan to protect our students and educators. This legislation does just that," end quote. Hogan also claims the state could lose up to $1.25 billion over the next 5 years. He says that's because under the act, Maryland would be failing to comply with federal regulations to address failing schools. However, the State Education Association says that claim is falsely exaggerated, noting the Every Student Succeeds Act is vague on certain requirements. They say in part, quote, "The Attorney General's office has told legislators that nothing in the Protect Our Schools Act is out of compliance with federal law." 47 ABC brought this rebuttal to Governor Hogan on Friday. He admits there's no guarantee any federal funding would be lost, also agreeing the federal law is, in his words, unclear. However,
I don't want to risk the possibility of losing $1 billion in education funding, and there's no question that this puts us at risk.
Lili Zhang, 47 ABC.
The act passed. Both the House and Senate were told it heads to the governor's desk, with Hogan pledging to veto it. The Maryland State Education Association says that they are now calling on legislators to override that veto.
Yeah, 47 ABC spoke in depth with Governor Hogan on a number of other legislative measures the administration and General Assembly are eyeing. Look for those reports in the coming days.